Uh, one thing I would also like to add is that the bottom of the well also had a Bombos medallion too, so that could be actually that's not going to be a backup for Ice Palace because we were given Fire Rod for free. And I completely blinked and missed at what Trinex had in the library.
Okay, looks like now things are starting to move on the commentary stream. We can now settle back here, and we'll actually wait for the final results to come up on our restream.
Yeah, it should just be catching up.
Or at least I hope so.
It should also be noted we had a shovel in Kakariko as well, and Trinex just dug up 10 sticks for us, so shovel wasn't worth anything too noticeable this time around. So yeah, it looks like everybody went and checked that shovel. Pretty much. Yeah, because when you get an early shovel, you want to check that fast, because you never know if that ends up having, like, your hook shot or something, and you gotta come back for that later. Ugh, that's gonna be a feels bad man moment.
Much like what happened last time, or like at least yesterday.
Would you like to explain that story for us, for the folks at home?
So, if you missed yesterday's race, what happened was I went for a risky play and ended up hammer jumping over to the dark maze, unaware that I actually forgot that the Stalfos basement happened to have or progression, which was the ether, which led into Turtle Rock, getting the hook shots, and that it took me pretty much I last location the entire seed, and I was sitting there looking at my map for about a solid 5-10 minutes, I'm guessing, and I'm like, what did I miss? And then it just dawned on me, oh,
Oof.
Stalfos basement. Then I proceeded to throw up my usual funny pictures of Knock the Weasel, and then I threw up a "It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia" joke.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a little bit of comedy to lighten up the mood, but I do want to point out that based on our multi-stream page that we're improvising with right now, Trinex has picked up the Pegasus boots at Agina's cave.
So that now opened up the boots checks.
Yeah, it gives us Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb, both wide open, and would you look at that, Bonk Rocks has the mirror. So we now have, well, actually, mirror by itself doesn't do us any good just yet. We're still looking for a lamp or a flute to be able to put that to work. Or Moon Pearl, that works too.
That still doesn't really give us any information regarding any partial Dark World access. And speaking of, there's our Moon Pearl.
Yep, Moon Pearl was in King's Tomb, so 2 very critical boots checks behind Agina's cave, but meanwhile, it looks like Mini Moldorm Cave had powder, that's about it.
So when we get to the Dark World, we will have access to the Magic Bat, but we won't be able to get that Mirror Portal because we would need a hammer to get that out of the way.
Yeah, we're gonna have to basically kind of go back and forth a little bit, but we can add in the Smith Chain as well. Oh my... I'm sighing to myself because Sahasrara has just revealed that, guess what? Green Pendant Turtle Rock. Again.
It's funny because that actually was, I believe that was actually where the hookshot was yesterday.
It was yesterday, yeah. Green Pendant Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
So you gotta imagine anybody from last night's already rolling their eyes.
Yeah, especially after my blunder.
Although, thankfully, actually, with Titan's Mitts, with Titan's Mitts, that's already one of the keys for entering Turtle Rock's front door. Granted, we still need a few more things, but having close to Dark Death Mountain access already is a little bit unnerving, to say the least.
So from Tennis Dude's side, I'm looking like Tennis Dude is making the Eastern Palace play as I'm refreshing here.
Yeah, we got Tennis Dude and Trinex both in Eastern. Mocha Jones soon behind. Larry has decided to do the fake flipper checks. So she's on her way to Waterfall Ferry right now. Or not to Waterfall Ferry specifically, but to Zora. Because Waterfall Ferry... Actually, you can set up a water walk with boots, which I'm surprised she didn't do, actually.
Yeah, this is one of the things that I personally like to do, and if I see a Moon Pearl... Well, to be fair, Laria has not gotten the Moon Pearl yet, so won't be able to set that up at the moment.
Yeah, and the thing is, Agina's Cave is quite an out-of-the-way check, even for a Sphere 0, so folks will tend to put that off for a little while until they really have no options, which it seems to me like that's a very likely possibility for everybody except Trinex at this point. And Zora was a big fat scam with just a red meringue.
I mean, to be fair, the red boomerang isn't really a bad weapon, so to speak. Oh, he's a bad item to have if you're wanting to stun enemies, or also just do some some splashation shenanigans. But since we're already over here at this particular spot, then Zora, then we already say quitting that. Well, can't really do it.
Yeah, now interestingly, oh my goodness. Well, the Armos Knights themselves were available because we had a big key in the compass. Actually, the map chest, rather, excuse me. But the vanilla big key chest had a hook shot. So Trinex and Tennis Dude just both snagged that up out of logic.
Wish I had that yesterday.
Yeah. But hookshot's actually a pretty big one because that's a way to, if I'm not mistaken, is that one of the ways you can get to West Dark World with the Titan's Mitts Moon Pearl combo, or do you always need flippers?
Yes, you can get over to the West Dark World through the hookshot. But you can't get over to the east side because you still need a flippers or hammer to access that.
That's what I thought. So okay, yeah, so it's only one way, not two way. So yeah,
Yes.
we're still granted that's still out of logic with without a lamp anyway, although the lamp at this point it's probably just chilling in Thieves Town or Skull Woods, which both assuming, non-item and big chest shenanigans, both full clearable dungeons at this very moment.
And if I may interject here, I did see from our multi-stream that Trinex has drawn first blood after getting a nice quick kill on Armos Knights.
Yeah, and the Armos Knights being quite generous and offering us their armor matches the color.
I mean, that's kind of, talk about irony.
Quite literally.
Looking at trying to get a refresh again.
Because, they're made of iron.
Well,
Never mind.
Okay. Hold on a second.
But, unfortunately, Mocha Jones had to burn his ferry trying to get through Eastern Palace. I do not believe, based on his personal tracker that we're looking at... Oh, he actually does have hookshot. I take that back. So, yeah, He has also sequence broken hookshot. Hopefully Laria will do the same thing, because that'll give everybody a nice bit of extra utility. And it looks like Trinex is deciding to sequence break Death Mountain here. And we are getting word from our tech crew that things should be sorting themselves out pretty soon. So again, bear with us. We've almost got this. We've almost got this under control.
Yeah, just stick with us here. We're just about ready to get this up in short order. Just hoping that things just resolve themselves, so we won't have to use our multi-stream here.
Not much going on here in Spectacle Rock, but Trinex is going to be our first over to Dark Death Mountain. Hopefully will give us a Dark World map check before mirroring decides nope. Now, though out of logic, the hookshot also does give access to East and Dark Death Mountain. So, it'll be very interesting to see if there are any additional items back here. And I think, I don't remember where, but apparently the magic cape showed up. Maybe the old man gave it to us.
And in the process here, as we are switching, as we're getting things back live here, we are also swapping out Tennis Dude for Floppy Bacon here, as getting things all cleared up and ready for racing.
Alrighty. It looks like, from the image we're seeing from Floppy Bacon has actually decided to sequence break the mountain as well. And it looks like as the first runner to Lower Paradox Cave, where we find a sword. So we've got 2 swords. We've got a good, nice, easy Master Sword already. Alright, we've got Trinex going on to face Moldarm, and indeed the old man was the one with the magic cape. Ooh, and Laria has just saved and quit out of what I assume is Eastern Palace. Yeah, Laria couldn't make it through the dark rooms. Must have had, ran out of magic. That's a bit unfortunate. However, Trinex will be our next runner to grab a crystal on the list. So that's 2 crystals for Trinex, still with Westside Dark World access only. Not looking too bad for 2 crystals. Still wondering where the lamp to put the whole Death Mountain neck of the woods into logic is. And it looks like Trinex will also be going to Dark Death Mountain. Let's see what's going on elsewhere. We've got Mocha Jones now going through Paradox Cave, gonna get that Master Sword. And looks like Laria is heading up to Death Mountain as well. The only thing not carrying with her is the Eastern Palace Crystal. But she did come out with the hookshot, which is probably the biggest of the things that were necessary. Given that we now have... Given that we now only have 1 remaining unknown pendant in the Dark World, which is not very likely to be pot at this point.
Okay, looks like now that, hopefully, on my end, we do have a Constream map. And we're only going to be running with 3 runners this time.
Yeah, we do apologize for that, folks, but it's the unfortunate workaround we had to go with in order to get the show back on the road here.
Okay, so we're finally getting ready to start the show.
All right, Mocha Jones grabbing that Master Sword. Trinex following suit. And we didn't get the best look at Lower Paradox Cave earlier, so I'm curious to know what's actually back here. Mocha Jones will be the first to reveal this information to us.
As we welcome on in Speed Gaming Prime with a party of 61 to this Link to the Past Randomizer daily race on Speed Gaming number 3. Our 3 runners here are Trinex, Mocha Jones, and Leoria. We did have a 4th originally, but technical issues had caused us to do a workaround, so we apologize for the not so conventional layout here. But I am Professor Renver. My code com is Captain MT13. Your trackers rather are Mr. Scrap, Ninja Tuna, and Ginksy Girl. And we do have Dark World access. We have what I consider partial Dark World access. Without the hammer or flippers, we cannot get over to East Dark World.
No, we actually, and our hookshot is also currently, and this East Death Mountain play in general, still currently out of logic as well, because the hookshot was in the vanilla big key chest of Eastern Palace, which is currently lamp locked, the item in question of which we have not located, although we're pretty sure it's just chilling somewhere in the West Dark World right now, because there's a lot we can check down there, courtesy of Titan's Mitts and Fire Rod. And there's a green rupee in Spiral Cave. Chat also pointed out that Turtle Rock's medallion is Ether tonight. Oh, and we get our Dark World map check. Our remaining pendant is Misery Mire. With our 5-6 crystals being Thieves Town and Swamp Palace. Mire TR pendants, that's a big one. We may not need medallions tonight.
Hopefully not, because if we were to recall last time from yesterday's stream, it was required. Unfortunately for me.
Yeah. We're getting a hookshot cave here from look here from Trinex, which had the Cane of Burna, the Single Arrow of Destiny, 10 sticks, and a unknown item that we unfortunately had some frame drops on when we tried to see it. We're getting, oh yeah, Spiral Cave we already know is a green rupee.
Alright, we're gonna try... that's not just me, it just, it was actually also happened to happen on our Twitch stream, so we're gonna try and do another refresh here as we get ourselves back to the start.
Yeah, one more hot restart should get us sorted out for the entire rest of the day. Although I think the stream may have actually frozen on the on SG3's end, so they probably, just in case you can hear us again, don't worry, we're working on it.
Yeah, these kind of tech issues can happen, and well, so it does happen. So just be patient with us, and just don't panic.
And the folks at home confirming that that we are still being heard, which is fantastic. So thank you, folks at home.
Okay, so it looks like now we're finally getting things back underway. Mocha Jones going to get the mirror from the Bonk Rocks, and eventually also Mocha Jones did get the Moon Pearl, so that's good.
Yeah, the finally getting around to Agina, but it looks like Laria has not done this yet, and yeah, both of the boots checks here, King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks, containing our progression, a very mandatory progression here tonight, so absolutely want to get to the Agina's Cave before too long to pick up those Pegasus boots, but it looks like Laria is going to go back to try and finish off Eastern Palace.
So I will probably want to, as we here, we're getting some, not really some new, well, as we're getting some new information from Trinex, I should probably get out of the way over some of our sprites options that we have here. We have Mog, the Moogle from Final Fantasy VI. Mocha Jones is running Battling from Celeste, and Zelda is Leoria is running Zelda, not the other way around.
Specifically Twilight Princess Zelda, if we had to hazard a guess. Based on the hair. Unfortunately, we just managed to catch a red cane in Skull Woods on Trinex. Oh, my commentary stream may have frozen again. But
Yeah, Go ahead.
It sounds like it is working fine on the Twitch playback, so at least you folks at home are still able to keep things moving along.
Yeah, yeah. It's not just me, too.
Yeah, you know, might be easier if we just watch the Twitch stream playback, so we might be a couple of seconds late on catching stuff, but such is the nature of technical difficulties.
Yeah. So Mocha grabbing some fairies, and I believe wanting to try and catch one. Trinex going to take on the Mothula fight. Again, since we're going to be a little bit late on the action here, given the technical issues, I'm going to be reacting things to a little bit late, and Trinex having Trinex getting the silver arrow bow off of Mothula.
Yeah, silver arrows, especially now, not a bad time to pick those up. Pod is still a crystal. Silver will definitely make Pod easier. It'll make Swamp Boss a little bit easier. Hopefully we don't ever have to set foot in Mire or Turtle Rock to have silvers be useful in Mire, but we'll see. To answer question, chat, I do not believe we have seen Hera Basement. We're still locked out of Hera Basement at the moment because we don't have a key. Although I think Trinex did defeat Moldorm to get that crystal as well, but I did not see if Moldorm dropped a key. Mocha Jones, in the meantime, trying to set up a Herapod.
It's been a while since I've seen this version of the Herapods here for Mocha Jones. This is what I like to call the Koi setup, because this is the setup that Koi, are one of the runners in our community, had set up before the more familiar, more easier to do Dracaris setup by another familiar face, Dracaris, getting the Ether Medallion out of the big chest.
Alright, so right now, based on what we know about, so we know Trinex has Cane of Samaria because of that Skull Woods dive. Yeah, Mocha Jones and Larry are both not getting their Moon Pearls right away is definitely going to be slowing them down when it comes to Dark World access at this rate. But we're actually getting a Hera Basement check from we're actually seeing a Hera Basement check here from Mocha Jones. So we'll see what ends up popping up there.
If I had the reason to guess, you're using the multi-stream?
Yeah, so I'm actually a little ahead now. My apologies.
Okay. Might as well switch in as well.
But yeah, it looks like Laria has picked up Pegasus boots and is now just now beginning to catch up on progression here. But she'll be a little bit behind getting to the Dark World here. We'll see if she decides to go to Dark Death Mountain first or go straight to the west. Looks like not too much crazy stuff going on in the front of Thieves Town here. So no sign of anything major. Oh, I take that back. It would appear that Trinex has just found our lamp chilling in the Thieves Town attic, which now puts that hookshot back into logic, and therefore the entirety of the Death Mountain checks that we have seen up to this point.
That's always nice. And in general, the lamp's also nice to have, so that way you don't have to like do all those crazy shenanigans with dark room access, just all that stuff. It's always nice to have a lamp in hand.
Absolutely. Although at this point, the only... Oh, wow. Chat actually brings up a really good point. Assuming... even with boots in tow, we don't have to worry about being 21 out of 22'd. We actually only need flippers for go mode.
Yeah, that is correct. With the fact that we got the boots really early, and that boots was actually, in fact, required, given hard Dark World access.
I'm sorry, when did the hammer show up? Because I just noticed Trinex is using it.
Early.
Was it first?
Yeah.
Must have been first for Thieves Town or Village of Outcasts. I must have completely missed that one. Oh, chat's saying Hookshot Cave. I could believe that, to be perfectly honest, because we did miss one item in Hookshot Cave because of, at the time, first check because of lag. It looks like, actually, I'm looking at the wrong, yeah, switching between videos is going to definitely be, throwing everybody for a loop here on the staff end.
Yeah, but from my multi-stream and Trinex putting up a really good line script, pretty much on point, as that's the fourth crystal, excuse me, for him.
Okay, so it looks like it was the last chest in Hookshot Cave that indeed had the hammer. So that so yeah, no, we're fully back in logic now, and yeah, we're just looking for flippers. If we can get super lucky and find those before we get past the Smith chain, this will be one heck of a jet seed.
Yeah, we're only 37 minutes in, and we're looking at potential jet seed from this particular race.
And the nice thing is, Ice Palace and Swamp Palace are both completely off the table at this time, as a result of flippers being our go mode. But yeah, so that's 4 crystals now for Trinex. Laria is diving through Thieves Town. Gonna be doing so without Hammer, though. Luckily, the big chest didn't have anything important, so she won't be last locationing any important items at the moment. But she will fall upon that lamp, which will be certainly nice to see, no less. Village of Outcasts definitely housing a ton of stolen goodies, because I saw quite a lot of rupees at this point.
So our current situation here, we have the possibility of pod as a very nice option. With that hammer in hand, that means, of course, Aga would be dead unless for whatever reason our flippers happens to be in the lumberjack bridge, or maybe I missed that. I don't know. This is in the midst of our technical issues.
I know Laria. I think Laria did check at one point the lumberjack ledge. I didn't see what it was, but I think someone in chat did mention. Oh, never mind. Jinxie Girl, our tracker, confirming that it was indeed bombs.
Okay, so that means Aga is straight up dead. For Hype Cave over on Trinex's end, I saw red mail and a tempered sword, along with some money and a heart piece, or heart container rather. Not bad protection, not bad of a health, not bad of an offensive weapon either. That's actually fairly solid.
Yeah, I would give that a solid, given that it was 2 really good items. I would still say like 5-ish out of 10.
Yeah, that seems fair.
It should be, and especially since our runners are going to be guaranteed silver arrows today, since they're on Mothula, it should be a pretty safe Ganon regardless. Oh, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna bringing up a really good point that is actually kind of crazy. Despite everything we could be checking right now, flippers could totally be on pedestal.
That is entirely correct, as we don't necessarily need flippers for Misery Mire, because there is patches of water, deep water, that you can't access with just flippers. That's still just outside of way outside the overworld of the Mire area, so that wouldn't really matter in the slightest.
No, you can reach everywhere you need to check for items in the Mire area without flippers. But right now, it looks like we have got Laria trekking through Skull Woods here, is going to be picking up that cane of Samaria, while Mocha Jones is going to be heading in the direction of Mothula.
And I actually use the Bomb Boost Medallion to clear every enemy on the screen, except for, of course, the respawning Wallmaster, which will always be there regardless.
Yeah, nothing we could do to get around that, unfortunately. So it looks like all eyes are going to be on Trinex for a little bit, as he will be the first to our new checks, and really this just being the result of getting that Moon Pearl and Dark World access super early from from the Boots chain from Agina.
Yeah, the early Boots play for Trinex has paid off dividends here, and as a result, he was the first player to get into the Dark World and also start the series of events that led up to a potential jet seed as we're about to approach the 45-minute mark.
Yeah, and it looks like Trinex will be going to pod.
I like this play. I especially love this play from Trinex. This is the next best option in this situation, and given the fact that we don't have our flippers and this is our only item for go mode, there is no way we can get to Swamp Palace, and in turn it is impossible to get any item off of Pyramid Fairy, which results in Pyramid Fairy being dead, as again we are one away from go mode.
Yeah, this is looking to be just as you said, the more favorable play, and if it's all the more better if we don't have to dive any pendant dungeons, but the unfortunate thing is if flippers are not here, we literally have to pretty much look around the entire rest of the world.
And one thing too is that we are unable to get over to we know for certain that the flippers cannot be in Ice Palace because Ice Palace is locked behind the flippers. It's more of a soft lock, in my opinion, where you can still get into Ice Palace with flippers, but you're not going to find anything there.
Indeed. But yeah, the two things our runners do not want to find, as somebody in chat has pointed out, the two things they really don't want to find right now are Ice Rod and literally the thing that Trinex just picked up.
That is our flute.
Yeah, you beat me to it, Trinex.
That now opens up the Mire area, and that also now opens up their two pendants that could yield our flippers. And provided that we can get into Mire, if it's not Quake, then we are actually looking at a potential all pendant clears. Again, given the fact that if Mire is not Quake.
Yeah, I would wager Mire is going to be next on Trinex's agenda here, as because that's probably the next most dense area you can look at, especially after already clearing Dark Death Mountain. because you've got 2 items in Mire Shed, you've got Checkerboard Cave, and the 2 items in Mire itself. Not to mention all of Desert. So that's another 3 items.
Trinex is heading over to the boss.
He may be electing to just get this out of the way now, especially with, oops, wrong direction for that arrow. He may just be electing to get this out of the way now, and then check the back later, or he could be taking a very interesting gamble here and banking on the flute leading to the flippers.
If this play does pay off for Trinex, this will pretty much confirm to us that it is a jet seed through and through. As one thing to note too, as we did get the flute, that was only 1 item out of 5.
Yeah.
For all we know, if Trinex really wants to play it safe here, he could head to the back, because there are going to be 4 items in the back. I haven't kept an eye on the number of keys that was on the front. I know that there can be a minimum of 4 keys, but it's also entirely possible that there can be 5 keys in the front of Pod.
Yeah, I know Trinex checked the Bowlock section first, and I think the thing that convinced him to go straight up is that he found a lot of keys. So I think he figures just, okay, let's use that. Let's use those keys now to get to Helmasaur real fast, get the crystal, and then come back later to do the back. We'll see how this all plays out. We'll see what he does next here, as Helmasaur King will soon be going down on his end.
He is heading back.
Alrighty.
Now, if I was racing this, and I had the clairvoyance to actually go and check out the Stalfos basement and not skip it like a total buffoon, I would be doing a pod clip after this, where you place a Samaria block down on the 2 pegs, and then doing a specific down right input, and then into a dash turn up, you can actually go past the red pegs, and also line yourself up for a key dash.
Oh yeah, that's I think you demonstrated that last night. I remember that. And it threw me off too, because I was like, wait a minute, how did he get past those blocks? He just literally walked right through it. He just willed it.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite tricks to do if I have Pod and I have my Samaria and Kane, or my Samaria and Trinex got the half magic, but the boots and Kane.
Yeah, things are, as we start moving things along here, looks like Mocha Jones is starting to wrap up Thieves Town. Laria has checked out with Magic Bat. Looks like, I don't think Magic Bat had anything of extreme importance at this point.
That was everything out of Pod, with the big chest having 10 arrows.
Well, so Pod, unfortunately, not the God play, I would say. Not enough to get us into go mode right off the bat, but looks like... Let's see where Trinex decides to go next. I would wager probably going to do the Graveyard Ledge or Catfish. Probably stay in this neck of the woods first. Get everything out of the way, then probably activate Flute, go to Mire. Chat is saying that the Magic Bat had the Mirror Shield. Not really something you want to see, given we don't want to go to Turtle Rock. we've got Cape and Blue Cane anyway, and that shield just generates lag.
Yeah, and more so, it's not really just. It's completely useless in pretty much every other situation, except for Turtle Rock, where there's the laser bridge. And I mean, in theory, I mean, yes, you can block the Mimic's fireballs, but again, that's still just it's pretty much a useless shield regardless.
Well, Stumpy gave us a little more cash to play with, an extra 300, and I think our runners have basically extracted almost all the cash they could out of Hyrule at this rate. They could pretty much buy out the entire stock of blue goo at the potion shop with the 3 bottles they were given for free early on this seed. First one being from Back of Escape, and the other 2 each being from the two Pentachecks in Kakariko.
So for Trinex on our multi-stream, which I should probably disclose this too, is about way ahead of our mainstream here, and there's nothing we could possibly do about that because our common stream is frozen at the moment. But it's going to go and get the magic boomerang from off of Zora.
Yeah, Larry is now making, I would wager this is a Dark Death Mountain play here. In fact, maybe lead this up into Hera. Grab that extra crystal. Makes sense. She has the lamp out of Thieves Town, so, well, Fire Rod would have done the trick anyway, too, so... Very curious to know where these, where these flippers are, but I think Catfish, should point out Catfish gave us a Vanilla Quake medallion, so now medallions do not matter. We now can full clear both. Well, not both, completely. We can't get to Trinex without an Ice Rod, but we can now, beside, Trinex notwithstanding, we can full clear both of our late game pendant dungeons.
And this also means Pedestal is now open.
Almost wide open, yes, barring an Ice Rod. Well, we're still looking for an Ice Rod, of course, but you know that's going to show up before Flippers at this rate, right?
Hopefully.
And if it does, it's going to make our runners sweat and nervous, no doubt. And we are now finally getting the flute activation from Trinex.
It's coming up on our Twitch page now, getting the flute activation up for Trinex.
So yeah, this is like after Thieves Town, with basically the whole world open. This is where we're probably going to see our routes start diverging here, because now it's pretty much a case of where are those flippers? They could literally be anywhere. That's not a water check, obviously, but you get the idea.
Hold on a second. I might be crazy here, but this might sound crazy, but I think our comm stream's back up.
Indeed, it would appear it is.
Okay, so now that whole situation has now been sorted itself out, it looks like. Just give it a bit of time. Okay, so things should be back to normal now. Laria now on our con stream, which now should be proper. Probably going to show up now on time. Is going to check the hair basement.
Yeah, we now should be all synced up here for good. Yeah, just to explain, for anybody who may just be coming in, we've been having some video issues, especially with our commentary stream. We just got it back up, so now we're all squared away. We're fine and dandy. Trinex is about to get that mirror shield off the bat, and Mocha Jones is going to be getting that sword and red mail upgrade from Hype Cave.
Yeah, and with our technical issues too, this also is the reason why we do have 3 runners on board now instead of the typical 4 that we usually have. Hero Basement now is going to yield a hard pace, so not in Hero Basement.
So I'm gonna make a bit of a bold prediction here. I am going to guess a bit of a weird spot for sure. Flippers on the Desert Torch.
The Desert Torch.
What do you think?
That actually doesn't sound too bad, given the fact that we do have our flutes. Excuse me, both start with F. But given the fact that Trinex is heading there right now, we do know that the Desert Ledge is just a heart container, and we already know that it can't be either. It can't be ice. It can't be in swamp, and it can't be in Pyramid Fairy. I feel like now, after we got the clear of a pod, our next best option is the Desert Palace. Also, we found out that our pendants are Durf, not Fred, but Durf, as in.
I'm sorry.
As in, Turtle Rock is Ether, and Misery Mire is Quake. It's the reverse. It's reverse vanilla.
Okay. But yeah, there's still a grand total of 3 more items to check in this neck of the woods. There's Checkerboard Cave and 2 items in Desert. Actually, 5, excuse me. Checkerboard Cave, 2 items in Desert, 2 items in Mire. So, let's see where Trinex decides to go first. I would wager Desert, probably, because it's just the flat-out easier dungeon.
That's exactly where Trinex is going.
Alright, Larry about to get the hammer out of Hookshot Cave, while Mocha Jones will be traversing through Pod and getting that flute out of the Stalfos chest.
It is a key. The dungeon is boot locked, but we do have our boots, so that is just a moot point.
Pretty much. Well, that kills my prediction right out of the window.
I mean, it could possibly be on the right side of...
Or, you know, it could just be literally in the front of Desert, and Trinex has entered Go mode at 5712.
Yeah, that is a sub-hour Go mode. Yeah, there was a bit of a slow period as we're trying to find our main thing, but looks like the rest is just Jet. Pretty
much, and you get to Go mode Swamp and Ice Palace, the two best Go mode capable dungeons you have in Link to the Past. So strap yourselves in, folks. Here we go.
And we do, and also that means the flute was in fact required to complete the seed.
That is, of course, assuming the book wasn't just chilling in Graveyard Ledge or something.
Yeah, of course. That could also be true. So, the good news of that is, save for Desert Palace, we didn't have to dive too deep into any pendant dungeon. Or in best case scenario, didn't have to dive any pendant dungeon, period.
Yeah, we really just had to, knock on Desert's front door a little bit, that's about it.
So, given a question in the chat about the sprites that we're using, outside of the Mog the Moogle sprite from Final Fantasy VI on Tronix's side, Mocha Jones is using the Battle-In sprites from Celeste. I had to come up with the name really quick. And we also, what we're assuming is the Twilight Princess Zelda from our Leoria side.
Yeah, safe bet is Twilight Princess Zelda, because Twilight Princess Zelda had the darker hair. But yeah, what really put Trinex out ahead early was he elected to go to Agina's cave pretty early in the Sphere Zero checks, which meant earlier access to boots, and by extension, earlier access to the Mirror and Moon Pearl from Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb, respectively. So yeah, Trinex is just literally zipping through Ice Palace here.
Yeah, and with that icebreaker, this makes... oh, and there's the spin clip from Trinex.
Nice.
I love that clip so much. Just bring up all the tech here. With Icebreaker, this makes Ice Palace a lot more tolerable than it was without Icebreaker back in the good old days of version 30. And coming up here, we also will see Diver Down for Trinex as we enter Swamp Palace.
To answer a question in chat, the flute is in the Stalfos chest of Palace of Darkness. Laria is right around the corner to it, but Mocha Jones has picked it up already. And this should be a fairly fast Trinex. Be very careful to not accidentally use that mirror too early. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, and that doesn't feel good to mirror, especially in Ice Palace, where you have to go all the way back down to the bottom to fight cults there. But a fairly smooth fight regardless.
Absolutely. Yeah, it should also be noted that our runners were guaranteed silver arrows today, since the second bow was on Mothula. So all of our runners are going to be having a very comfortable Tempered Sword Silver Arrows Red Mail Half Magic Ganon.
Yeah, pretty much everything you want with Mirror Shield. I mean, again, Mirror Shield doesn't really entirely matter, but with things like Red Mail, Half Magic, Tempered Sword, Silver Arrows, they're not going to die. And with also three battles in their hands, this is pretty much you're never going to die. Straight up, you're never going to die.
Nah, not at this point. At least we hope.
Let's hope so. And I mean, the worst case scenario that could happen is a Ganon Fall could occur. But let's hope. I mean, I'm not praying for a Ganon Fall, but it can happen. I've seen people fall on the Ganon fights, and it feels so bad.
I've seen worse stuff happen with glitches on the 1x3 bridge.
Oh yeah, the fall when you're trying to dash through, and that's a problem. That is also feels bad. But Trinex is going into our 7th and final Crystal Dungeon, Swamp Palace, and pretty much what we said from the off. Since we know that the flippers were not going to be in Swamp Palace because it is hard required for the seat for Swamp Palace in general. This is going to be a blazing Swamp Palace. We'll see Diver Down coming up for Trinex, and at this point, it's just like straight up go and kill Argus and head straight over to GT, start the guessing game, get the big key, and start the climb. Go and kill all the refights, and then go up to Ganon and Aga 2 and slay them, and we're good.
I'm very curious to see how the race is going to develop here between Mocha Jones and Larry, because there's really not much separating these two. Mocha Jones just getting to Helmasaur, while Larry has just finished cleaning out the Dark Maze for the Half Magic. So I'm curious to see how it's going to be between these two, as in their cases, they both just have to flute to desert and grab the flute, and that's all she wrote. So between these two in particular, we might have a very interesting race here. But I would say that this, for the restream in its entirety, it is Trinex's race to lose without a doubt.
Oh, for sure.
We're getting to see that Diver Down glitch now. Trinex electing to use Cane Strats, effectively setting up for a Water Walk in Swamp Palace, which you don't normally get to pull off, but hey, it lets you skip pulling a switch and watching a cutscene. Oh, Mocha Jones having a little bit of a trouble hitting the bullseye on Helmasaur King here.
So here, go ahead.
Gets the silver eventually.
Trinex about to start the Argus fight, And this will, if we see some zero cycle strats, probably just gonna go by normally here. No zero cycle strats necessary. Just gonna keep going, firing away at these Argai. Just keep slashing, hooking, and there's the first cycle down. Waiting for some fire rod strats. Misses the fire rod, but just be another couple slashes or spins, and that should take care of it. Yep, that does take care of it. 20 rupees, and that is going to be Trinex's 7th and final crystal, heading straight over to GT. So let's start this game here. There are a total of 21 chests and a single torch, so we make up a total of 22 possible checks within the basement of Ganon's tower, and one of them will have that big key. So if you want to give in chat, you want to get your guesses in as to where that big key will show up, please do so. I will give a number. I will start with well, I want to see a bit more speed. Let's just go all in. Let's go 1.
Ooh, bold guess indeed. I still want my torch guess to be at least something important today, so I'm going to pick 3. I'm going to guess Hope Room to Torch will be the route Trinex takes. But it looks like Mocha Jones has activated the flute and is in fact heading into the direction of Desert Palace. So this is going to put Mocha Jones, most likely the next one, in go mode here. We'll see if he decides to check Desert first or Checkerboard Cave. Not mirroring, but looks like it's going to be Mireshed. We actually didn't see this, I don't think. Actually, no, Trinex did show us this, and it was junk.
Yes, that is correct. And this was before going into Desert Palace to get the flippers.
Right.
So a bit of a fun fact, as for those who haven't joined us a bit later in the broadcast here, Mocha Jones and Leoria are two runners who actually competed in the Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament 2020, of which I took in participation too. I actually went up against, I went up against both Mocha Jones and Leoria of Light. And I happened to lose against Mocha. I happened to lose against Leoria, and I happened to win against Mocha. This was in the Swiss brackets. So Leoria ended up in the Gold Sword bracket, and Mocha ended up being in the Fighter Sword bracket. But with that being said, enough fun facts aside, 21 chests and a torch separates Trinex from getting the big game and getting this completing the seed. Here we go. I can't believe I screwed that one up. Going flat.
Ooh, bold guess indeed. Will we have big key on the torch? Oh no, the key's the wrong size.
I mean, yes. I mean, I'll still take that as a partial win. But even then, I still went bust. Yeah, I did go all in after all.
That you did. My guess of 3 is still on the table. I just wish 3 would have been the torch. Oh, wow.
Number 2 is a key. Number 3 is 20 rupees. Bit of a bit more chips on the table here, if you will. And going for Dark Magician strats, or just Magician strats in general, there's a lot of variations of the Magician strat.
Yeah, I think this one is dark, where you go up to Stalfos Room and then go right.
If you were to get the key from off of the one after the compass room, that would be pink, because I believe you go all the way to the right and into a certain other room in order to go and fight to go over to Bob's torch.
Pretty much.
And also go into Ice Armos, if memory serves me right.
Something along that line. Yeah, Pink Magician's the one that eludes me. I know for a fact, though, dark is Stalfos Room to full right.
So into the compass room. We are currently up at 7.
So 8 through 11 coming up here. Number 8, more sticks for the silver arrows. Number 9, more money that we really don't need. Number 10, more money that we still really don't need. 11, the big key that we really do need.
And Chief Salad, game number 11. Congratulations to you. You got a bit of internet points and a bit of a little bit of a shout out from here over in the commentary booth.
I just realized something. Mocha Jones is going into the Skull Woods neighborhood. I think he may have noped out without doing, of the Mire area without doing desert. That's definitely a no good, because we know that his Go Mode flippers are located there.
Yeah, this is going to be a problem.
Yeah, I'm
Because,
very curious as to why he would elect to pass that off, besides the fact that desert is append, and even still, it's two relatively quick items.
yeah, it looks like Mocha is also going to get the information about where the what was on the lumberjack ledge. I am not good with my name so far.
That's alright, I'm
and
not much better.
so going to get the information about the bombs. Trinex starting the gauntlet.
Yeah, again, silver arrows, tempered sword, half magic. Trinex will not be held up by any of the obstacles in his way here.
Yeah, and here in my case, I'd be throwing out fire rod shots left and right and laying waste to the Stalfos.
Yeah, fire rod's a good option. If you manage to get lucky with the sword, so be it. Trinex got lucky with the sword in this case. But it's off to Lamolus 2 now for Trinex.
Leoria is heading into Desert Palace right away, and she will be heading over to that over to those flippers momentarily.
Yeah, that's going to make Laria most likely our second runner in Go mode, and that's going to pull her well ahead of Mocha Jones here.
And that is for sure. Trinex into the Wizrobe rooms.
Never get tired of that Samaria strat.
Oh yeah, personally one of my favorite set of rooms. And with Wizrobe Room 2 in general, it looks complicated. It looks tough. It does look tough. But if you're practicing the left and right, it's actually not that difficult. It's mainly just throw a Samaria block to the left and then explode it as it's coming up to the Wizrobe, and then as they're getting killed, as the Wizrobes are dying in that particular room, you hold up right and then just kill the other Wizrobe with the sword.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, Trinex not even checking the top 4. It's just, nope, I'm done. Thank you. Have a good rest of your night. I am off to go kill a pig.
Yeah, this is pretty much, we're getting this, we know this is the Jet Seed. We're getting this going. We're gonna start killing Moldorm 2. And I wouldn't be surprised Trinex, in a hurry to get this seed completed, is going to leave out Moldorm's last possessions for another day. Yep.
Indeed.
Yep, leaving the last possessions for another day. Trinex has no time to waste. He's got to go fight Aga 2 and then take down a pig.
Alright, in the meantime, Laria taking advantage of her Go Mode status and quickly slicing her way through Ice Palace while Mocha Jones just had wrapped up Spike Cave, finding the heart piece tucked away inside there. No luck on finding the flippers. We do know that they will not be up here, and luckily, Mocha Jones won't be able to get all the way to the boss of Turtle Rock since the Ice Rod has not been found yet. Unless, of course, it's just chilling on Laser Bridge, which I sincerely hope Mocha Jones isn't thinking that right now, because it is entirely possible that could happen.
Yeah, and it looks to be the case. It's kind of unfortunate too, because Mocha had made a pretty bold play in his mind, leaving out Desert Palace. But unfortunately, it's not going to work out.
Yeah, just rando will rando. In this case, it's just randoing not so good for Mocha Jones.
And it's almost identical, not really almost identical, but given the fact that we have an Ether Medallion and we have Green Panda Turtle Rock, you could just play it off as if it was a seed that I would have played and just went with Bruz left and right after realizing my error.
Yeah. Looks like Ganon's complaining about midnight snacks. tonight. Given that it's actually almost a couple of hours from midnight, I imagine a couple of folks might be thinking about that.
Yeah, especially now that classes are starting back up, and summer's about to end here. Always nice to just get some late night studies in and have a midnight snack if possible.
Absolutely. I certainly knew how that felt like when I was in college. But in the meantime, Larry had a little trouble. Didn't quite get the the first spin on Cold Stare properly, but has recovered quite nicely with Fire Rod and Tempered Sword, and down goes Cold Stare for Laria.
Ganon teleports are having a bit of issues here. Down to 2.5 hearts. Silver's is Ganon's true weakness. Gets a actually a Silver spin here. Getting Torch Glitch. Oh, this is actually looking really good.
Yeah, we might, or actually that teleport I think basically just prevented... Oh, never mind. Trinex is going to get a KO here with only one Torchlight.
Get your GGs in the chats for Trinex. We're going to get the official race time, that GG time pretty soon. It won't be enough though, because that 10-second timer will just leave at 115 alone. 150 alone, and we'll actually be finishing first on our race stream of an official race time, that GG time of 1:15:04. In second place overall, with Shire taking the overall win with a time of 1:11:29, so about 4 minutes after Trinex finished.
And just less than a minute after Trinex finished, we have 50 seconds later, we have Chloe Prower taking third, 1:15:54.
And here is Trinex. GG's to you.
GG's. That was a fun one. Unfortunately, it was a little bit slow at the end looking for those flippers, but this one was interesting for sure.
Indeed, yeah. Despite until going to Desert for Flippers, your decision to go to Agina's Cave early ended up, amongst the restream runners at the very least, giving you a very big edge.
Yeah, I basically just have a general rule to, if there's something I pick up from the sunken chest there, I just keep going, and that one just happened to work out pretty well for me. It's like both Mirror and Moon Pearl afterwards, and I didn't even take a Dark World check until well after that even.
Now, I think you ended up like going all the way up to getting Hookshot. Oh no, you cleared out Eastern, got Hookshot, and sequence broke Death Mountain before you went to Thieves Town to pick up Lamp and all the gear down there. Yeah,
so once I had Dark World access, I was still kind of low on hearts, so I decided to just kind of clear out Crystal Eastern first and see what I got there, and just kind of kept going up the mountain since I could do full clear. But yeah, it's towards the end of that, it was just full-on flippers hunt, and I pulled at a good time, but the winner of Sheer actually got like a 111. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Mike, you first.
Okay, sorry.
It's all right.
But I will say this too, and I'll let you finish your thoughts after this. It's a jet seed. It was a jet seed, and it felt really good to get that time.
Yeah, I would wager probably what Shire did is instantly go straight to Meyer Air to activate Flute immediately after Pod, is what I would wager happened.
Yeah, that's probably worked. I skipped the Smith chain early on, just thinking like to go straight to Pod. Figured it'd be kind of slow to do it then, but when I came back to activate, I figured a good enough time as any. So yeah, I mean, I guess that could have done a decent amount there too, but.
Meanwhile, Mocha Jones unfortunately decided to dip out of the Meyer area before checking Desert, so did not pick up flippers and is now full clearing Turtle Rock looking for them.
Turtle Rock did look pretty good at a certain point, so
It did. We had access to it pretty much since Hookshot Cave when you got Hammer.
Yeah, thankfully, I think at that point, I didn't have Kane yet. Because I haven't gone into the Dark World at that point, and then it was Kane and the vanilla big key chest of Skull.
Right. Yeah.
So I wasn't tempted at that point, but once I saw it light up, I mean, after Pod, if nothing popped up, that might have been the previous check. I think the only real gamble I made was I skipped Terror Basement, but
that just had a hard piece.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and I guess that's the danger of everything opening up so fast, is that you're likely to make the wrong call as well as the right call, so.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting watching the logic start to come together as we finally while you were while everyone was sequence broke Death Mountain looking for like hammer and stuff, despite not having lamp or flute. So it was really interesting piecing that all together once we got to Thieves Town Attic.
Yeah, it was funny because up until that small key, I was actually potentially thinking that Death Mountain was still flute locked, but just due to how the logic works out in Thieves Town. But once that small key showed up, it wasn't nearly as interesting.
Yeah, we do think though that the flippers were hard flute lock because we have no idea where the book is hiding. Oh,
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Moko Jones should be noted as I guess not found Ice Rod and is turned around and is going back to Desert. So about to get flippers and enter go mode.
Yeah, this will be the play to make. Oh, sorry about that.
Probably gonna be mildly frustrated. Mildly frustrated when he sees those flippers there, considering he was right in the neighborhood just a moment ago.
I have to give a brief bite track so I can make sure I wasn't crazy.
But yeah, I'm sure it felt good that you'd only literally had to just stub your toe on Desert's front doormat, and that's just about it for pendant dives.
I think at that point I was actually starting to maybe consider doing a full clear of the dungeons just for potential ped play at a certain point, but
we were starting to think, we were thinking that it was possible for flippers to be on ped, but we really had no easy way to figure that out early because book never showed up, and
yeah, just as things were winding down, it was just kind of hard to say. Like, still no ice rods. It wasn't really that strong of a play, but I think the only thing I definitely would have done was probably just killed Vitreous right away, because going back is probably the hardest thing there. So
yeah, luckily silvers were free today.
oh yeah, it was actually a full-on free Skull Woods too. It's like the vanilla big key chest and just the boss, and that was it.
Pretty much that, and everybody picked up half magic from Pod, because at that point you were still gonna full clear it because it still had a key for go mode, and it wasn't gonna be the full. You weren't gonna find go mode in Pod, so everyone was gonna full clear it. So everybody got the half magic pretty much for free too. Same with the red mail in Hype Cave. Now, honestly, this is like one of the best Ganon armaments for the entire best Ganon armaments we had for today.
I'm just sad I didn't get any triples or doubles on Ganon there. This is all singles.
No triples or doubles, but you only had to light a torch once. Or maybe twice.
I think it was just once, yeah.
It was once.
It was one. Yeah, one torch light is still pretty impressive. Especially for 4 singles.
But then just before that, it was probably one of the worst Agatu fights I think I've had in a while. Just kept coming out exactly the same time, so... Wow, 122. It's actually really good. All right, folks. I think that's it for me. If you have any final questions, I'll...
Yeah, that's just it. GG's to you, and well done on your finish.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for the restream, and good luck for the rest of the races.
Good luck.
Take care. All right, folks. Well, as we are starting to wind things down here, we invite you to please give our runners a follow, as they have put on a fantastic show for you here tonight. They were Trinex, Mocha Jones, 10, Larry of Light, and for the brief time we had him on screen, Tennis Dude.
And also Floppy Bacon. Don't forget about that.
Yes, we did have him on screen for a bit too.
Yeah, and also we would also like to give huge shout out to our trackers too, Gangsta Girl and Mr. Scup Ninja Tuna, and you're listening to Professor Randover and Captain NT13. Give us a follow as well. Also, as I see the Bob posted this, we are hosting a world record bounty for a relatively new game that released, I believe, not about a month ago, called Bite the Bullet, which is like a Contra game that's a kind of Contra style game, Metroidvania game. There's going to be a total of $1,750 in prizes, and if you want to actually give it a shot and try to make a run at the world record, get the game on Steam. It looks, from the brief trailer that I saw for the game, it looked really cool, a really innovative game for the time. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'll get these scheduled up pretty shortly here. That's what we're going to look at what's coming up down on the pipeline for tomorrow.
Meanwhile, Lariat does have the GT Big Key and will be making the climb. And Mocha Jones now go-moding Ice and will soon go-mode Swamp to boot. And yeah, we should be winding this one down pretty soon, folks. There really can be no doubts of that our runners are essentially safe and sound for the rest of the game. And one other thing, another bunch of folks we want to shout out tonight is we want to shout out Mind of Me and Feasel, because they both really went out of their way to keep this restream in one piece despite all of the technical hiccups we were having tonight. So again, massive shout outs to those two. Especially considering it's like past 9 o'clock. It's a late hour of the night at least on the US East side. But yeah, massive props to the two of them for helping to get this restream back on track in time.
And also, I would also like to shout out to you, the viewer, for sticking with us, even with the many issues that we had with today's restream. You are the true heroes of Hyrule in this particular situation. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. So,
although admittedly, hearing the chat give like a link to the past radio instead of a link to the past rando because of the frozen image was actually a little interesting to talk over, because we're like, what's happening next down there? What does it sound like?
Yeah, that was a very fun. That was actually admittedly a fun experience. Okay, I have our schedule up. So at 2 p.m., these don't have official times or official channels just yet, but of note, at 2 p.m. we have a Star Wars Episode 1 racer match against Zealous Scholar, I believe, and Lightning Pirates. And for the rest of the night, it's going to be just non-stop bingo. A couple of Super Mario Odyssey triple bingo tournament matches, and a Hollow Knight randomizer lockout bingo match, along with the Dragon Warrior tournament happening, as well as our daily race for tomorrow, and that is going to be Pedestal Open.
Ooh, Pedestal Open. You think that means there's going to be a required pendant item in GT?
Oh, that is cruel. But of note, on Thursday, this is actually a pretty big one. A pretty interesting one too. We are going to be having our Twitter poll matchup. If you have looked at the schedule, our final votes ended up being Map, Compass, Small Key, Shuffle. So expect that to come up on Thursday at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, that is certainly going to be quite the event lined up for you folks here as we progress through the rest of this week as we open into this September.
Yeah, the good old September. Enough for a bunch of Family Feud jokes crack open some Earth, Wind, and Fire as well as we on that fateful September 21st. And that OGs means that I believe you know exactly what I'm talking
exactly
about, right?
what not Final Fantasy Family Feud. Well, they both start with F's. What Family Feud September joke you're talking about?
Oh yeah, I know my history. I know my game show history, and it was probably one of the funniest answers of any Family Feud answer of all time.
Oh, and Jinxie Girl, our tracker, brings up a good point. We're coming up, because it is coming up into the holidays, we're going to be probably seeing our festive Link to the Past Rando Seeds. I gotta say, Halloween last year was quite the treat. If you guys have not seen that, check it out. There should be a VOD on YouTube somewhere. It is quite the spectacle. So much detail was put into it.
Yeah, this was... The festive last year was probably quite a spectacular thing. A lot of effort, a lot of coding work was done to print together this amazing that festive, and I wouldn't be surprised that if this year's festive is going to up the ante a bit higher. Yeah, if you're not familiar with if you're not within the circle of the ALTTP Randomizer around the time the holidays come around the corner, that being Halloween and Thanksgiving and any holidays that you would celebrate, like Christmas and all that. We do have a festive seed that we play, and it's quite an amazing sight to play. Definitely check out the pods for it. If you're not familiar with festives in general, there is a Halloween one and there is also a Christmas one. Or a holiday one, to be more precise.
Alrighty, well, we are on Laria's big pig fight as Mocha Jones is traversing through Swamp Palace. Mocha Jones won't be too far behind getting into GT at the very least, but Laria should have little issue and actually is in a really good position to get rapid-fire spins off on Ganon Phase 2 here. Although, as you mentioned before, the Ganon teleport's not exactly being cooperative here.
Yeah, because those Ganon teleports are seeded for that first round, and a death or a fall after the fact will be completely random.
Yeah, we do not want to see that at this point.
Yeah, as we're winding down here, Laria to Phase 4. Silver is Ganon's true weakness, and we are going to see Torch Glitch pop up for Laria, Mocha Jones doing the diver down with Samaria.
Yeah, almost didn't get the Torch Glitch. I saw a gap in the fire for a split second. Ooh, got tickled by a fire bat, but it does not matter. Laria has defeated the big pig.
Get your GG's in the chat for Leoria, as she's now going to cross the 1x3 bridge and will be completing this seed here, finishing in second on our restream with an official racetime.gg time of 1:30.56. Good enough for 10th place overall, with DJ Darkwing D being 9th, a time of 1:28.08. Ganon's Gone Wild in 8th of a time of 1:26.31.
I love that name.
Ganon's Gone Wild. Yeah, I'm familiar with that name completely. Kadesden, 7th place of a time of 1:22.52. Edium in 6th place of a time of 1:22.39. Very close matchup between Edium and Kadesden. GFE in 5th place of a time of 1:21.58. Koi in 4th place of a time of 1:17.34. And Chloe Power in 3rd of a time of 1:15.54, as you previously mentioned.
Yeah, fantastic performance by Laria. Despite being a little bit late for the Moon Pearl, for the boots in the Moon Pearl, still finishing, given that we have a 29 entrant field tonight, still quite a respectable performance out of that. And we are now joined by Laria up in the booth. Laria, GG to you.
GG.
Thanks, guys.
So, bit unfortunate that we were a bit late on the bandwagon for the Pegasus boots.
Yeah, I felt like my early game was just full of poor choices. And, literally my comment in race time was make better choices, please. Because that's how I felt about this. This could have been so much faster. And I feel annoyed with myself for some things. But, I feel like overall, I played it well. And my execution has been kind of, wonky lately. So I feel okay about that, at least. Minus the nonsense in Eastern early.
Yeah, we did see it was a bit unfortunate you ran out of magic traversing through the dark room.
The dumb thing is, I think I was able to get the pot, and then I just totally forgot that I'd picked up that magic. I just couldn't figure out where I was in the room anymore, and I couldn't find the door to reset myself.
Well, if it's one thing that you did choose to do is relatively soon after pod, you ended up heading over to Mire and Desert, which led to your Go Mode flippers. Mocha Jones, who is our last runner on Restream, went to the Mire area, I guess checked Mire Shed and Checkerboard Cape, but then dipped out and went to Turtle Rock before going back for Desert.
Oof, yeah, that doesn't feel good. I know when I was up at Dark Death Mountain the second time, going into Hookshot Cave, getting Hammer, I thought about dipping Turtle Rock, especially with it being green pendant, but I figure, you know what, Pod's completely clearable now. I'm more than happy to go there first. The other scary thought was, is, Thieves Town Big Chest going to be a thing? Because there's an item in there that, is just stuck there.
Yeah, Hammer and Hookshot Cave was a bit of a rude spot, considering that the logic was expecting you to go to Thieves Town to get lamps, so you even had logical access up there in the first place.
Right, and I was sitting here the whole time like, okay, yeah, Agina's going to have the lamp, and it's going to be an Agaseed, and then there's going to be something on the pyramid, like, and then I get the boots, I'm like, wait, oh no.
Yeah, up until we saw Desert, we were actually getting a little bit worried about Pedestal, because Flippers really only locked out Crystal Dungeon, so I was like, well, Flippers could totally be on Pedestal. Luckily, not the case today.
Yeah, that was kind of in the back of my mind too, like, oh, I hope not. Please, no. No.
Unless, of course, it's the open pedestal tomorrow, and you want to get to the pedestal as fast as you can.
That's true. That's a good point. No, I know for me, like getting that flute, I was still kind of worried about Pyramid and Catfish, so I was like, let me just grab them real quick, and then I'll save and quit. And that was kind of one of those decisions I'm like, why did I do that? This was stupid. This was dumb. I shouldn't have done this. But in my brain, like, I'm big on, follow the items and see where it goes. So I was like, this flute has to lead to something. And I was like, do I want to go to Mire or Desert? Desert is faster. Let's check that first.
Yeah, actually, we never did see... nobody actually went into Misery Mire, despite the fact that it was locked by what ended up being a vanilla quake.
Well, I'm really glad I didn't get baited by that. I don't even think I checked the entrance. I think I totally just ignored it completely.
Yeah, we actually had like reverse medallions today, where TR was Ether and Mire was Quake. But yeah, it just ultimately ended up being that the late Pegasus Boots was just probably the most unfortunate. But that was, honestly though, we got to hand it to you for... we do have to hand it to you for execution, and especially going from Pod to Desert, that worked out much more in your favor towards the end.
I felt pretty good. I mean, for making as, like, in my brain, like, as many dumb choices as I feel like I made, getting a 130 feels still pretty good, especially since, like, Render knows this too, like, we were in the Mentor tournament together, and, that was at the beginning of June, right? Or something like that. And I was barely sub-2ing.
I believe it was somewhere around, I guess, around May, June, somewhere around there.
Yeah. So, like, in like 3 months, I'm getting 130s, and that feels really good. And I see other people that were in the tournament as well getting even better than that. So I know that's got to feel really good for everybody who was involved in that.
It was June, yes. I'm looking back at it now.
Cool. So yeah, exactly 3 months, because it's the 1st of September.
How time flies.
Yeah, and I've been putting up a lot of good times as well, and I've been really looking forward to making a run in the main tournament when that comes around the corner.
I'm hyped. I'm was a little worried to see, main tournament getting pushed back and league being so soon. Especially since my league team and I have been, like, we've been just kind of practicing, and we thought we'd have more time to practice before league came around. So much for that.
Oh yeah, and I'm looking forward to the league this time around. And hey, it's 2 league seasons in 1 year. You can't have a better luck than that.
Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm just, it's nerve-wracking because, it feels like playing with the big boys, I guess, and that's terrifying, but also really exciting.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm looking forward to it myself. And because I was in the league last time, and I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of. I'm like a broken record. Jeez.
No, you're totally fine. I'm excited. This will be my first experience with the league. Like, I caught only the end of it last time.
Want to just bring quick attention to Mocha Jones here, who just wrapped up the gauntlet, getting to Landmost 2, was down to 1 heart, dealing with the double BMOS, got quite bullied. had a bit of a struggle there climbing up GT. So cutting a little close, but did manage to powder the bunny bean.
Go, Mocha, go!
Yeah, with that health refill, he's looking pretty safe at this point. But yeah, how about having practically the full anti-Ganon package on hand? Half magic, red mails, free silvers.
I will never complain. Those silvers dropped from Moth, and I said, okay, thank you. Cane and silvers in the same dungeon and in the back. I don't even have to touch the front. Beautiful.
Yeah, the dungeons were pretty. Well, they were. I wouldn't say they were pretty loaded, but Skullwoods in particular was pretty darn loaded today.
Yeah, Skullwoods was the exact layout you hope for it to be. Except for it would have been nice to have that cane maybe before, that switch, so you could actually use the cane on the switch.
Of course. Excuse me.
But yeah, good luck to Mocha. I'm going to hop out of here and probably hop in stream so I can watch him finish up.
All right. Well, once again, GG to you, and thank you for putting on a fantastic show for us here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for calming, restreaming, and tracking, Captain, Renderer, and Jinxie. Appreciate y'all. And whoever restreamer is, I'm not sure who it is. I'm sorry.
It's Mocha Jones.
Mocha is restreaming?
Mocha is restreaming. Well,
That's
I mean,
impressive.
SG.
No,
SG.
SG. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
Sorry,
that's impressive.
I misread that question. I misread that statement.
It's
Sorry.
okay. Have a great night, y'all.
You too.
You too. Okay. Mocha now heading to the pre-Moldarm room and is going to go straight over to Moldarm 2. It's going to wrap this up fairly soon. I might as well fire off a couple of other finishers as while we are waiting for Mocha Jones to wrap up here. Okay, so it looks like last possessions were 50 rupees. But an 11th place is the Radical Sniper with a time of 1:31:11. At 12, Sanders 3:16 with a time of 1:31:41. Pretty much exactly 30 seconds apart from each other. There was our finisher, Tennis Dude, 13th with a time of 1:32:24. W Garrison in 14th with a time of 1:32:53. Floppy Bacon, our other restreamer that we were trying to get up here, in 15th with a time of 1:34:32. Signums in 16th with a time of 1:34:56. And Forgotten to Pay in 17th with a time of 1:39:02.
And Mocha Jones deciding to not take any safety items, any safety fairy pickups as he enters the Aga 2 fight here, but does still have the bottle of blue goo and the fairy as reserves, so I don't think he's too worried. Got a decent enough Aga pattern. I don't remember exactly what it was, but a couple of the last ones were a little more favorable. Yeah, this should be a pretty quick big pig fight, which will bring this restream to a close.
Yeah. Again, special thanks to those in SG helping to get this restream back under control, as well as you, the viewers, for sticking it through against all odds and through adversity.
All right, one more complaint about midnight snacks later. That's it. I'm cooking dinner after this stream.
And me, I'm going to maybe pour myself some hot cocoa. Sadly, it's some Keurig hot cocoa, and I'm not trying to put some milk into it.
All right, looks like Mocha Jones is electing for the Cape Strats here. It's going to burn off a lot of that magic, but with the bottle of blue goo in tow, shouldn't be too much of a problem to refill that. Ooh, took a fire bat hit. Can't take another one of those, or it's bye-bye fairy.
Yeah, because Mocha does still have that fairy in possession.
That fairy, which we saw at the very beginning of the game back in Blind's Hut.
getting ready for the fight. Although I should point out here, Mocha does not have a lot of magic in the tank here. Needs to just hold on for dear mercy. There's the torch glitch. Does have a blue potion. All right, that's good. That would have been a problem.
Yeah, he would have had enough magic for at least 1 or 2 more torchlights, but best to be half safe than half sure, especially when you're right at the end of the race.
Yeah, for sure, and that's some good recognition of the potions in Mocha Jones' inventory, and that is going to be it. Get your GGs in the chat for Mocha Jones, and we will bring this restream to a close. Again, thank you very much for sticking with us through our technical difficulties here. We're going to be finishing 3rd on our restream with an official race time, that GG time of
I got it here for you. It's 1:44:36.
Sorry about that. Suddenly, my system suddenly freaked out on me.
Okay. It happens. Mine's been doing that a little bit today, too. Time for another one. I'm just asking on behalf of the Triforce.
Oh, okay.
That would have been a great... that is actually a pretty funny one, considering how fast the seed ended up being.
And going to go ahead and fast forward to the epilogue and credits. I wouldn't blame him.
That's much too early. Prepare to fast forward. Preparing to fast forward. Fast forward. Fast forwarding, sir.
Good old Star Trek references.
I
mean, it sounds like something out of Star Trek.
It's actually from a movie that's a Star Wars parody type thing.
Oh, Spaceballs?
Yeah.
Never mind, then.
Yeah, with that said, folks, hopefully Mocha Jones will be joining us in the booth for an interview momentarily. But, yeah, we've already gone through the schedule of things to come in the near future. Like we said, a lot of bingo tomorrow night. We should also point out that we are in the midst of, towards the weekend, we should be entering the next round of the Metroid Prime Randomizer tournament. That has been quite a show, as the randomizer has been showing seeds of all shapes and sizes on that front. So once that weekend comes and the schedule starts to come to life once again, we hope to have you folks join us back for those. And Chad pointing out, yeah, nice collection rate between Laria and Mocha Jones, despite Mocha Jones ending up with that extra dip into TR. And, never mind. I thought that was Mocha Jones coming into the Discord call, but nope, it was not.
No, I had to refresh my thing.
So I guess I do notice Mocha Jones' race time comment is mistakes were made with a 125.
Hey, it's Mocha Jones.
Hey, GG Mocha Jones, and welcome to the call.
GG, thanks.
GG's.
Can I just say that...
Go ahead.
Can I just say that that one play I made you rock instead of go to desert when I was in Mara area? Yeah, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah, that was a bold call to make. That in your mind that would have worked really well, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah, we don't even know where Ice Rod actually is. Nobody ever dipped Mire. Everybody noped out of desert as soon as they got flippers, so we don't even know where that is.
Yeah. So the reason I didn't go continue on in T-Rock's I don't have Ice Rod, and I could have checked desert a long time ago, and I just wasted a lot of time there.
Yeah, the seed. This was kind of a weird one where sequence breaking the mountain without lamp ended up working out really well because all you had to do was get your get the hammer out of Hookshot Cave, and then you're pretty much done. You don't ever have to go back up to Death Mountain until GT. But the lamp was all the way back down in Thieves Town, so you had to kind of do a little back and forth.
Yeah, I was glad that I actually went up Death Mountain when I did, because that hammer was very nice.
Oh yeah, that was a really nice spot to find it.
But I was going through that scene, it's like, yeah, this feels good. This feels good. And then it's like, where are my flippers? That's all I need are my flippers. I'm going to check density first. And it's like, that's wrong.
Yeah, and to be fair, at least you didn't end up in the case of my shoes yesterday, where I completely lost the entirety of the seed, only to realize I missed an item. I missed kind of my items in pod, and ended up being where my progression was in the Southwest basement of all things.
Ironically, where Flute was today.
Talk about straight up irony.
So seeing that Flute was nice. Getting boots, that's like, do I do both checks or just? And then I saw, what was it? I saw something good in Bonk Rocks. It's like, I think it was Mirror. I found Mirror in Bonk Rocks, and I was like, do I go up the mountain and go on the Hera? Or do I go ahead and do King's Tomb, which was the right play to go ahead and do King's Tomb? It's like, this is feeling really good.
Yeah, the Agina being the basically the key to Dark World was definitely a weird one, but everybody ultimately had to get funneled that way before too long went by.
Yeah, I was hoping for vanilla flippers. That's why you saw me do that water walk all the way to Zora. It's like, vanilla flippers? Come on, really? No.
That would have been hilarious, to be fair. How did you feel about getting the most complete Elite Chef Bacon Makers package for the Ganon fight?
Oh man, I love being decked out in red with silver skewers. That was fun.
Yeah, we did notice you were struggling a little bit going up GT, cutting it a little bit close just before Landmost too.
Yeah, I was like, I have a fairy, so I was going reckless abandon pretty much because I knew I had a fairy. I had that safety there, so it was just frustration. Actually, it's like, but yeah, that was a fun seed.
Yeah, it was a jet seed for pretty much most of most of everyone else.
That flipper's location was frustrating, and
yeah,
I just took the wrong gamble. That was mistakes were made.
Yeah, it does happen.
It's all part of the learning experience. You learn every time.
Yeah, and Laria did mention this as well, and because me and you played in the mentor tournament against each other too in one of the Swiss rounds too, and it was, I mean, fun. Yeah, that was fun. It was around June, or May or June.
Oh, so long ago now. It feels like, even though it's like 2 months ago.
Yeah, we were saying time. It feels like time's kind of flying.
Yeah, with all the stuff going on right now, it feels like time is flying by really quickly somehow. But anyway, if you got any final thoughts to wrap things up here, please sound off.
Mistakes were made, but that was fun. The end.
Okay, short, sweet, and to the point.
Well,
shout out to the Speed Gaming crew. This is fun, which I'll do every week.
Yeah, especially a good shout out to this the crew. Getting this restream going at all was quite an experience. But yeah, thank you for playing here, and I hope to see you in future races.
Oh, you definitely will.
Oh yeah. All right, take it easy, and
later.
We're gonna wrap this up here. So yeah, that is going to do it for our restream here. Actually, I did skip a bit forward into Saturday, there is going to be a showcase on Speed Gaming Prime, something having to do with Wario Land. I am very interested in this. Don't know what it is just from looking at it like just itself, but it looks interesting.
Might be like a speed run of the entire Wario Land series, because there are a grand total of, I think, 4 Wario Land games, and plus Shake It on the Wii.
Oh yeah, I think I remember playing that. But anyway, besides that, give all our followers a run. Give our restreamed runners a follow. Jeez. And of course, King Girl and Mr. Scrub Ninja Tuna. Special shout outs to them, and again, special thanks to the Speed Gaming technical crew for getting this restream going at all, and also you, the viewers, for sticking us through here. Very, very well. I'm really glad that you stuck around even after all that craziness. But yeah, give all our runners a follow, give our trackers a follow, give our crew a follow, or our commentators a follow. Me, Professor Render, Captain MT13. If you want to take the last word, please do so.
With pleasure. Thank you, Professor Render. It's always a pleasure joining you up here in the booth for these races. And with that said, folks, we wish you a very good rest of your night. We will see you next time. Take care and stay safe.
Take it easy, everybody.